Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sculpture Lab, the podcast YouTube platform that usually talk about cultural experience. Today we have a pleasure to receive Mr. Aziz. I would like to just welcome him. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today.
It is a pleasure having you. And for the audience that are listening and watching, I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Sure. So, for those of you who obviously don't know me, my name is Aziz Abgo Panzo. I have a very mixed heritage. I will start with that because I think that's going to really speak to what we're talking about here when it relates to cultures.
That's correct.
I was born in Paris, France. My parents met there. My parents each are actually from different places in Africa. So my mother is from Senegal and she grew up in Cote d'Ivoire, which is in West Africa. My dad is from Benin, which is where my last name is from. But he grew up in Guinea, which is also in West Africa. But they were in Paris. So I'm a made in France product, but I'm also a made in Africa product.
Well, that's very interesting cultural combination. And if I was to define it, I would say, man, I don't know. You are the heart of West Africa. I mean,
Exactly.
that is beautiful. And like, I'm pretty sure growing up, like you have to like pick on each of those countries because they are very close to each other, but they have
Exactly.
small differences here and there. Uh,
Yes.
what was it like growing up?
I mean, for me, it was a definite melting pot, as we say here in America,
Uh-huh.
because for me, it was really merging all those cultures. So I grew up with this in a single parent house with my mother in
Uh-huh.
Senegal
Uh-huh.
predominantly, but then I did have the opportunity to visit Cote d'Ivoire to know that side of the family, the culture. But also, as I was getting to discover my dad's side of the family,
Uh-huh.
I've been to Benin, I've been to Guinea, I've been to Labe, Futa. I've done all those adventures. So to really learn about my heritage,
Mhm.
I really kind of went into that. So my life has been one third in Africa,
Mhm.
and then I went back to France when I was older to go to high school,
Mhm.
and then another third or the last part of my life here in America for the last 20 years. So even the American culture has also been something as part of me in the way I work, in the way I even started the business and everything I do. So all those places have an impact in my life.
Well, you just say the melting pot, but you add America, so you just keep adding ingredients to the pot.
Exactly.
That is beautiful. And I
That's
was
exactly
gonna
that.
that's very important. And I just wanted to know, like, in what area do you do business, and just help us like understand like your business platform, please.
So for me, I created a platform on Facebook. That was really the launch for me. About 8 years ago, we just celebrated our 8 year anniversary.
Uh-huh.
Uh, sorry, I gotta.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So 8 years ago, I created a group called Cooking with Aziz and Friends on Facebook.
Which is the co-op,
So
right?
yeah, Cowaf, yes. So
Yes.
that's where also my culinary transition has been, because initially I was an educator. I have a master's degree and all my academics in higher education. So I worked for universities for 15 years, but the love of cooking always been in me. So I kind of started to develop that and to post pictures of things that I made, and I kind of step into the entrepreneurial life by starting as a caterer
Uh-huh.
locally, selling things to people around me, and then little by little, I kind of started to grow this platform to invite people from different culture to
Mhm.
share their cuisine
Mhm.
and what they know and how they make certain dishes.
Mhm.
So my platform is based on 3 C's: so cuisine, culture, and community.
Wow.
So everybody who's in it is there to participate and really share each week based on a different theme that we have, what they can make. So I kind of developed that, year after year. Got into really coaching some people who starting in the culinary world. I started to help people who needed to have packaging, for instance, as it relate to their businesses. So and I got into merchandising, so the brand itself, Z-Box and Cowaf have became a brand on its own that people kind of recognize now around the world.
Man, it is amazing how the universe work around itself, isn't it? uh,
Exactly.
because like just like the background that you have mentioned, like being from France, Paris, everybody know
Yes.
like the diversity of food and many other things over there. But like having Senegalese origins, Ivory Coast, Guinea, Benin, what else?
Yes.
Man, the list is long. I cannot keep up. Okay,
That,
but
that's already a lot, all right.
that's already a lot. But like you take it to the next level by creating a platform that many people will come and have the experience, because
Exactly.
it's a very interesting dynamic. I joined it, by the way, lately, and I was mad. I was like, where have I been? Because I was
Thank
talking to
you.
my,
Thank you for joining us.
it's my pleasure. I was talking to my friends, and they was like, yeah, we know the guy. I was like, I'm the only one that does not know this guy. But like, we all love the food of the culture we come from. But sometimes we can have like we can be timid, we can be have the we can be intimidated, or just
Exactly.
be shy to introduce our food to other community. And it is due to the fact that taste is cultural.
Yes.
So what one culture can really love and savor, it can be like disgusted to another culture. And like,
Absolutely.
some people are more flexible when it comes to that. So I think creating that online platform is huge, because I see many people coming over there with a lot of enthusiasm, with a
Yeah.
lot of passion, and just it's too much joy in the circle. And like people may not have met physically, but they have a connection, which is like you just said, a 3C, right?
Yes, yes. So the beauty is we have developed the community online, but we also have been able to do meetups or meetings, around the world. So the largest community is in Dakar, obviously, being my home base. We have about 9,000 people, 9,000 members in Senegal, and then we have France. We have about 2,000 people in France.
Oh, wow.
Then we have 700 in Canada. We have 1,000 in the U.S. So you kind of have all this, people from all over the world. But when I travel, I try to meet them. So we try to make it something where we're not just digital, but kind of have the opportunity to kind of see each other face to face, laugh, giggle, and enjoy a good meal.
That is beautiful. So you build a connection from Facebook, but you expand it. And I'm pretty sure, like, let's say I'm a member of the group. Today, if I was to travel somewhere in Dakar and I don't have no connection, I can find someone that I am, familiar with, seeing their face, and
Exactly.
just, go from there. So it has a start, but it doesn't have an end, pretty much.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
like,
And to be honest with you, you can ask, many people have made so many connections because of the group.
mhm,
They have made connection outside of the group. Some people
mhm,
have partner
mhm.
work opportunities, or even found out that they are related relatives,
You would be
or
surprised.
or even some love connections. Because we have very few
Wow.
men, but some love connections have even been made.
And I'm pretty, like, it just kind of go back to the culture we are from, because
Yes.
if you see where we're from, like most of the time, where when people gather for any form of gathering, food
Hmm.
is always in the mix, and it just
Exactly.
it just takes care of the energy, because
Hmm.
when people share the same taste, I believe they can find an agreement. Uh,
Yeah, and even if they don't share the same taste, because sometimes it's nice to discover something you never had.
that's very
Like I'm personally not familiar with the Gabonese culture
true.
or
Uh-huh.
the food, but I've tasted it sometimes here and there. But
Mhm.
then when we did the Gabon theme in the group, many people have participated. Some people had never cooked it before, and they were like, "Oh, this looks like this and this," a
Mhm.
dish that they know or something like that. So sometimes it's nice to also through food
Mhm.
venture out, step out of your comfort zone.
That's very accurate. Like you pretty much like change your experience just by tasting like a food that you are not used to eating. And
Exactly.
I have friends here that been to like an Indian restaurant, and from
Mhm.
there they just went home and see how to make lamb korma. I named that because that's my favorite
No, no,
food.
yeah, I got.
Dishes. And these people, they make it as good as like the Indians because they learn it and they have passionate about it.
Exactly.
And that would
I mean,
lead.
even Asian. The most common one is Asian. Spring rolls. As we call them.
Mhm,
There's so many different variants. So many
mhm,
different things that people do or recreate. I know we've talked about, for instance, even taking a dish and changing it, like couscous, the
mhm.
Moroccan couscous that we
Yes.
know in Senegal,
Uh-huh.
has nothing to do with the couscous in Morocco. The couscous in Morocco is very watery, whereas the couscous in Senegal, the sauce is thicker. It's just sometimes we also adapt the dish to our palate or to our style.
You are
We
so
also,
accurate. I am a witness to that because I was in Morocco and I visited Fez, the Zoya of Shah Ahmad Sharif. And
uh-huh.
it was a Friday, and after the prayer of Juma, they serve us couscous. But
Yes,
it's nothing that I've been eating in Senegal.
I know. It's the water. It's like a soup. It's like a
I,
soup
I
there.
was very close to say they cooking it wrong, but then I remind myself I'm in Morocco. Okay, we got it from Morocco, so we are doing it in our way, and
I
and
know.
and that's pretty much the beauty of it because you can learn different things from different people, but you can tailor
Mhm.
it to yourself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So and that's what Sangor was saying. Donner et recevoir, right? So you keep your value, but you learn from others and you
Learn
add
from others. Absolutely,
in it.
absolutely.
But for someone to be able to like do this transition from academic to, I mean, this is still considered academic because you are studying
Yes, yes,
art, you are
yes,
teaching, you are learning as well. But like
yes.
there must be like a passion about food, and I just want to understand like where did that come from?
I mean, for me, it's just liking to eat. I'm just gonna be honest. I love to eat, so I always love to eat. And for the small story, when I went back to Paris in my teenage years, I was in boarding school in Paris. So I used to miss, the mafe and the yassa and the chebujan and all that stuff from Senegal, right?
Okay.
So what I did is when I came over the holidays, I used to sit with my grandmother
Okay.
and learn how to make this stuff so that when I went back, I kind of knew how to do it myself instead of having to worry about, ordering it from somewhere. And back then, I mean, 30 years ago, there wasn't that many African restaurants
Uh-huh.
around. And now in Paris, you have a lot of them, in New York and everywhere else. But back then, there wasn't so many African restaurants. So you had to know how to do it yourself. So that's how I started. And then when I went and started to play basketball, I came to the US on a basketball scholarship. So I'm kind of one of those former I'm 6'7", I'm 2 meters. So I used to play ball, as they say.
Well,
So that's what brought me here.
I am glad we
When
are
I
sitting down because I'm nowhere near 6 foot. But keep going.
So when I got here, my teammates, I was here, this guy from Africa, my teammates used to see me cook all the time and they wanted to try my dishes. So what I started doing, that's kind of also where the entrepreneurial mindset come in, is I was asking them to buy the ingredients and then I cook. So I was saving myself money by now having them pay for the vegetables and the rice and everything else. And then I was taking care of the dishes. So that's also how the cooking passion has even always been in me, and then fast forward to now or recently, where I kind of was just posting things I was making, cooking for me and my family, and then people were like, you know what, you should sell that, you should put it out there. People should be, trying your food, or people say, I want to try your food, and then that's it. And I created Z-Box Cuisine. That's when I created that brand, and it took off from there.
Wow, that is a beautiful transition, man. So it was nothing forced, nothing planned. It just come in naturally,
Exactly.
and I think
I
that's.
wasn't thinking, oh, in 10 years I have to do this. It was more like things break after break, things kind of evolved, and I went with the flow. And then it came to, what I have now, this huge platform, this global platform.
That is beautiful. So what I'm learning from this is like just it's just a matter of passion, and like you know your passion, you invest in it, and everything else will follow.
Yeah, I always believe that. And you hear many people who are successful today say the same thing. If you do something you like, something you really love doing, or you could even not get paid to do it, I think it comes a little bit easier. You kind of become more a student and a learner, and something that you can make it something professional. So it's not a thing to be, I want to make this amount of money, or I want to, some people have those kind of targets, and I think it's not really helpful. But when you have really, you go into with something you love doing, you could do in your sleep. Somebody could wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do it, you'll do it. Those are the things that kind of makes you successful.
I totally agree, because if you're doing it for the money, it's motivating, but the form of motivation and the form of creativity that will come around you when you are
It's not the
passionate
same.
may not be the same.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if it is for the money, I think like when you start gaining money, or when you push for a certain point without getting money, you start losing your drive.
Exactly. Because when you're passionate, you keep doing it. The money is here, the money is not here. You keep doing it. You're doing it because you love doing it. I love being an educator. I
Mhm.
love teaching. I love helping. I love impacting people's lives. If somebody can take something today, learn how to make a vinaigrette, or learn how to make a dish they never heard of, or even embellish or improve their skills, great. That's my duty. That's what I enjoy doing. Anybody who's kind of teachers kind of have that in them. You don't
Mhm.
really do it for the money. If teacher were
Mhm.
doing it for the money, they get paid a bit better. And we know teachers don't get paid that well
Tell me
anywhere in
about
the
it.
world.
Tell me about it. I taught 1 year in Senegal in a private school, and
Uh-huh.
I was being paid $40 a month, and I was,
So you see.
yeah, and I thought I was the man, because I just love, like they say, teaching is learning twice.
Yes.
So I can definitely relate to that.
Yes.
But like if you uh, just like what you say about like the gathering of the people, and like
Mm-hmm.
what is the biggest takeaway? What is it like to feel like you're a very humble man, by the way, and I
Thank
will
you.
give you
Thank you.
that, because the minute I contacted you, you make yourself available, gives me your contacts, and make time every time I wanted to talk to you. And that's
Uh,
what really motivates me to make sure that this interview is held, because
Thank you. Thank you. I
I,
mean,
I,
I'm a simple guy. I'm not trying to make it complicated. I don't have to have a whole barrier between me and people.
Mhm,
I'm very approachable. I'm blessed with that personality. I think the takeaway for me, for people when they come to our gathering or to the platform, is really to enhance their lives. If they can leave, when they leave a meeting that we have, where we talk about entrepreneurship, where we talk about starting a business, where
mhm,
we talk about failures, or things to avoid, or opportunities of partnership with other people who are thinking the same thing you are thinking, the same thing you wanted to kind of start. Those are the things that motivate me. Those are the things that I'm happy about when I see that happen. Because the goal is doesn't stop with meeting us or meeting me. It started with meeting other people to really reap something out of that, get some benefit out of it to enhance somebody's business, somebody's lives.
that is beautiful, and I think that's the biggest reward any human being can achieve, because like money, properties, everything, like at some point it's gonna be like something that you're gonna leave here, but the
Mm-hmm.
impact that you are putting on people is what will be in people while you are not here.
Exactly, exactly.
and
I mean,
and
there's a spiritual element to that for me. I mean,
Mhm,
as a believer, there's
mhm,
a spiritual element for me. That plays into it. But it's to anyone. It's not like because somebody has to be believing what I believe or have the same belief system. It's really open to anyone because I want to enhance anybody's life. When you're in a classroom, when you're a teacher, you're in a classroom. You want all your students to be successful. You want all your students to have A's. So if I can do that in my platform, if I can do that in my meetings, that's what I'm looking for. That's all that matters to me. I really want to see people feel like, through me or with my assistance, and I don't want to be the center of attention. I said this to
mhm,
you offline.
mhm,
The group is not designed to be about Aziz. The
mhm,
group is about people. So it's about the people who are in the group. I'm just a conductor. That's kind of the analogy I use a lot. But a conductor without his musician doesn't really is worth nothing.
What's the point of being a conductor if you don't have a musician?
Exactly. So the musicians are the one who really make the conductor look good, but
Mhm.
the musicians are the one who really doing the work, and those are the one I want to recognize.
That's beautiful. And from my little experience in the group, like I can tell, because if you set the tone as a conductor, everybody will follow.
Exactly.
As I come and I read through like some presentation done by other people, like I only see like positive recognition, uplifting from the members. So these are very disciplined people, but these
Hmm.
are very positive and very uplifting people, and it gives
Yes.
everybody to come out of their shells,
Yes.
present like their product, uh, because the internet sometimes it can be very uplifting, but sometimes there's a lot of bullying going on. But I think the fact that you can gather that amount of people and just have like a very dynamic, positive energy, it is very motivating. I was learning a lot. As a matter of fact, there's a dish that I'm working on that I learned from you. Uh,
Okay.
when it comes handy, I'll let you know, but I'm not
No
going
problem.
to
I
say it
can't wait
yet.
to see it. But as you said, you know, on the internet, the thing is, you have to have discipline. When you
Mhm,
have a community, you
mhm,
have to have discipline.
mhm,
So I'm not alone. I have
mhm.
6 administrators that help me kind of, you know, keep track of who's publishing what, who's saying what. But the tone is set, you know, as you said, you know, from me and them. By saying, you know, this is a positive community. We don't want to sit here and criticize people. If you see something that somebody could do better, maybe approach them privately or give them, you know, advices. But this is not about, you know, criticizing that your dish is ugly or your picture is ugly or whatever the case is. You know, we want to uplift people. That's the goal. We don't want people to be intimidated.
That's right.
But that means anybody who has a structure, anybody who has something of a sense of community, you have to have some ground rules, you know, in order to have in order to have peace and harmony in it.
That is accurate. That is accurate, and that's what I see being in the group. But as
Mm.
I was following your page, I see that there's a website coming, and I see some product. I kind of browse a little bit. Could you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about those products that are coming soon? Because that's what
So
I'm.
what I have is what I try to do is really listen to the members again and
Mhm,
kind of trying to find some useful things that are good, like accessories
mhm.
that people would need. So I'm coming up pretty soon with some mugs that will be coming up that are sustainable. I'm very also big on sustainability, so I'm not trying to buy things that will be really go bad or bad for the environment. So I try to do my best to do that. I'm coming up with some mug. I'm coming up with some little gadgets that are helpful for like when you're pouring your soup or your sauce, you know, spilling it. I have things that will be put in the kitchen to kind of cover the wall. So there's a lot of things that
Wow.
are coming up.
Wow.
I'm enhancing the website. So right now, and I don't know if it's in French. So for those of you who are watching, you might be like, you know, I don't know what he's saying. Maybe there's a button for translate. But the key thing is there are some videos in there that can help that are in English. But I'm working on having more things on there. So look out for 2021. I know this year has been really challenging for many of us with the pandemic, but I'm trying to really come up with some new tools and things that are useful to you and
Mhm,
me
mhm,
and anyone, you know,
mhm.
in their kitchen. I've done lunch boxes. You know, when you go to the office, you kind of carry your plastic bag or whatever to go. So I created a bag that's like, you know, have a cooling system so that you can keep your food cold or warm. You know, I have utensils, cutting utensils instead of buying the plastic ones. I have some metal ones with a little pocket that you can put in.
Oh
So
wow.
all those things are things that I came up with, and they exist. I mean, they exist, but it just
Mhm.
I designed it and added a touch so it kind of works for the members.
That is beautiful, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm a big coffee drinker, so I was checking out the mugs.
Okay,
And
you'll
by
see
the
it coming
way,
up soon.
yeah, by the way, I check out the mugs, but they seem to be handy, easy to carry out, and we definitely
Yes.
be looking forward to those products. Uh, if we have like any other ambitions with the group or with a career that you can
Mm.
share with us, are there any that you can talk to us? I know sometimes when things are not further, entrepreneurs may not want to, bring it up, but are there any other big things coming that you may want to share with us?
No, I mean, to me, the future for me for the group is really to create more interaction. I know what has been challenging now with this setting, like, we're all in Zoom meetings and, distant meetings. I want to go back to something a little bit more hands-on. I want to cook now with my members. So I'm working on some great ideas to really be in the kitchen with them. So those are some of the things that are coming up. We hope that we can obviously transition and be closer to each other. The social distance has worked, and for good reasons. But at the same time, for what we want to do in the cooking business, we have to see each other. We have to be closer to each other, in order to learn how to make certain dishes. So those are some of the things that I'm working on. In addition, like I said, to the new items and the new gadgets that are coming up. I'm partnering with a lot of people in Senegal to have more stores where my items will be available. And then I'm trying to also plan many more meetups. So in January and February, I'll be hosting a couple of events in Dakar. So look out for that. For those of you who are in Senegal, I will definitely be there, and we'll meet again. We'll do some more activities.
That will be beautiful, and I look definitely forward to that. I don't know if I'm traveling to Dakar soon, but I will be on the website and staying up to date to all the events that are coming. Uh,
Cool.
what are your hobbies? Are there any the type of activities that you do outside of work?
The biggest thing for me is travel. Like, not travel for work or cooking or anything like that, but I love traveling. My hobbies is discovering new countries, new destinations. I have been to Asia a lot, China, Thailand. I was supposed to go to Vietnam this year, but obviously with the situation, because I wanted to be, I want to just discover all these places that you hear about or you watch on TV. But even Senegal, like go inside the country, Sin Saloum, go inside the country to discover. So it's not necessarily about going far, but it's just that some nations have a lot more, accommodation or things made for tourism, or it's sometimes a little bit more affordable. But travel is my hobby. That's the thing I like to do, or just rest, just take a nap and relax, spend time with my family. Because in the world we're in, we always, racing, going from one thing to another. But sometimes it's nice to press the pause button and recharge our batteries somewhere else and clear our mind. And sometimes I get inspired too, when I travel, seeing things, seeing how other cultures are doing certain things, and be like, you know what, this will be good for what I do, or to bring it back to my group, or to bring it back to my family.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like, being an influencer on the social media through food, I'm pretty sure, like, like you just say, we expand by just stepping out our comfort zone, and
Yes.
traveling is definitely a great experience. I remember my first time in Morocco again, like
Uh-huh.
once I booked the trip, everybody was telling me about the tagine, and I
Yeah.
could I could not wait to
You
get
have to
it.
try it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, and we definitely look forward. We definitely look forward to following up with the upcoming events and the upcoming activities. We
Thank you.
will make sure also, like we'll share throughout our platforms, the website and the group, the Facebook page. I
Thank
see
you.
you are coming on Instagram. So me, I am more an Instagrammer. So we are pretty lucky to have you, and we look forward for more posts and more activities, because I believe many people should learn and know about this. Because
Yes, thank you. Like you said, I'm bigger on Facebook than it is on
mhm,
Instagram.
mhm,
But please do share my Instagram page as well.
mhm,
Appreciate that. I'm trying to grow there, but the thing is, the dialogue,
mhm.
the exchange is a little different, because Instagram is more picture posting.
It is.
It's hard to have like a chat. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like a
mhm,
back and forth chat,
mhm,
unless you're doing a live or something like that.
mhm.
So I'm not opposed to it, but Instagram is more a billboard for me,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that it is a place where we can have this dialogue.
That is true. That is true. I see now they are working on IGTV and the real,
Yes,
and they're trying to have like some live chat. So hopefully they will copy the model of Facebook or come up with something that can be similar. And because some people that are on Instagram all the time, and I believe
that's
like
true.
especially the people in our community, I think they will definitely enjoy the platform, because I have learned a lot for the very small time that I have been there, and
Thank you. Thank you.
I am definitely enjoying it.
Thank you.
So My last question is like, you're a family man, and we know like how food can bring like a family close.
Mhm.
So is there like anybody around your family that may be like into the cooking as you are, or that may be like a family extra, like family activity throughout the cooking and creativity?
I mean, I have cousins and family members that cook very well.
Uh-huh.
My wife cooks very well.
Mhm.
What we do sometimes is she does some of the dishes that I'm not necessarily great at. I mean, I love to cook, but there's some things I'm not necessarily like as simple as chebujan.
Uh-huh.
I prefer somebody, my wife, to make it for me than me make
Then
it.
you're making it.
So I'm like, honey, just make me the chebujan. You know, you do it better than me, or so. But the thing with the family is also teaching my children how to make certain dishes, because I want them also to be independent and to learn how to make certain things. So they can't have a dad that's a chef and they don't know how to cook, right? So this past summer, actually, we did like pizza and how to make rice, how to make omelets, how to make certain things like that. They're in that teenage phase, so
Mhm.
I'm like, you have to get ready, because when you're gonna go to college or whatever this, or grow up, I want you to be able to know how to do this. And that's for men and women, because
Mhm.
sometimes we have this misconception, because that was the thing that happened to me when I started the group, is I'm a man running a group that's majority of women,
Mhm.
and I'm a man in the kitchen. So
Mhm.
culturally, we know in Senegal, for instance, that is not something people are used to. Usually it's always women in the kitchen. So that's something that I want to share with my family, to really have them all gender know how to cook. There's nothing to do with gender. You have to know how to cook because you want to know how to feed yourself.
Just to relate to what you're saying, I remember my first day in America when I was trying to figure out how to make yassa, and
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck at some point, and I just was calling my in-laws and just asking them how to make it, but they just make it a case like everybody, hey, Jabal is calling to ask how to make such and such, and I could hear everybody laughing on the background because, like you say, I never step in the kitchen for no reason.
Exactly.
And like when you come to America, like or when you travel, it changed, and I think
You have no
that's
choice here.
exactly. And autonomy is just not in like one area,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to
Mm-hmm.
grow it in every other area. And I think the biggest reward you can do is making yourself a beautiful meal and just sit and enjoy that piece.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that's all over the world. There's nobody in the world that doesn't like to eat and have a good meal. So it doesn't matter where you come from, what religion you have, or no religion, we love to eat.
and
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 we have to eat to survive.
exactly, and it can be like a therapeutic session. Like let's say you have a good long day at work, or just have a hectic day. You come home, you take a nice shower, you just cook a meal that you cook best, and just sit and
Exactly.
enjoy it with yourself, or
Exactly.
just with your family. I think that's just a beautiful experience.
Yes.
So
Yes.
once again, man, thank you for everything that you are doing in that group, and I incite everybody to join in and expand our cultural knowledge, especially about food. And I
Thank
believe
you.
we all love food, and we're just gonna make sure we're gonna share your information,
Thank
which
you.
is the website, the Facebook page, and the Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to have Aziz uh, Agbo Panzo, right?
You got it.
I was struggling a little bit, but I was
It's
quite
okay.
close. And
I know it's not Job Njai or something like that, so it's a bit.
but you know, it can be tricky because people will hear Agbo Panzo and they try to speak Wolof on your back. It may
And they're
backfire.
like, "What?"
Devil
They
Nag,
don't know.
Devil
My
Nag.
mom is my mom is Soul, so I have Soul and Cham in my family. So
Oh
that's
wow,
more the that's more the one people can relate to. My mom is.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
But thank you for the opportunity. I'm really grateful. Like I said, I like things like this. I like to be a part of initiatives like this. So I also commend you for what you do. Wish you all the best in what you do. If there's anything I can do further, let me know. You have my number. You can reach out to me at any time, no matter where I am. I will do my best to respond and assist.
Well, thank you so much for those great words, and I think it go both ways. And I think you
Thank you.
touched on a topic that is really sensitive to me, which is traveling. So maybe one day we'll come back and share more like those what is like those experience of traveling, and we can talk more about it and
Oh,
share.
yes.
So
It'll be with great pleasure. I love to talk about traveling too.
definitely, definitely. So once again, thank you for your time, and we'll be in touch, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.